right, guys, welcome to the How I Talk podcast. I am your host, Chris Jones, and
I'm your host, Timothy Jones. We are here to do How I Talk.
all right, so this is episode 0 of the How I Talk podcast. We decided to dedicate this episode to sharing with you our purpose of the podcast, a brief background on who we are and what you can expect from us in the future. So before we get started, I think it's important for you guys to understand who we are and about our experiences. So Tim, can you share a little bit about your personal journey and background?
I will be more than happy to. Hey, you guys, what I'm going to share with you guys, I'm going to share with you from a corporate perspective, because I've spent some time in corporate, but also a business perspective, because I've started small business, so I can help you in those arenas. And I have a perspective from those. But even beyond that, there's a perspective that I have that's a biblical perspective. Would you imagine I have a degree in master's in theological studies and about to complete a doctorate. So I'm looking forward to sharing from all of those arenas with you to find out, hey, how you can find stuff out that is real, that is raw, that is authentic. And I'm looking forward to sharing all of that with you. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for sharing. My name is Chris Jones, of course. My background is accounting. That's where I got my bachelor's in. I have a master's in business administration. I am an accountant. I also do small business. I do have a small business as well. So those experiences that I've had at a young age, right out of college, has definitely shaped my mind. So during this podcast, we definitely want to share with you an old school perspective and a new school perspective. I can imagine.
Guess who's old school?
You'll probably want to use my perspective, right? But to each his own. So we want to take you through the next part of this episode 0, and that is about the perspective. Topic 1, what is the purpose of this podcast? We want to share that with you, right? So we speak on anything and everything, right? Our motto here is that it's real, it's raw, it's authentic, it's how I talk, right? So of course, with that being said, we believe that to use this platform, it is a way to share our perspectives, not only from a worldly view, but from a Christian perspective and a viewpoint. It's also important that we drop jewels and share information and knowledge with you that you can apply in your daily lives to get more out of your life. Tim, can you share with everybody what they can expect from this podcast?
What you can expect is these different various backgrounds that I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to be sharing from all of these various backgrounds. And sometimes they're going to mesh together, sometimes they're not. And sometimes there's going to be some information that I share with you you may not like. You may say, I don't like his perspective, but you got to remember, my backdrop is going to be a biblical perspective in all that I share. So when I share with you about finances, I share with you about what the way the world is, racial inequalities, social injustices, all of those things are going to be falling from a backdrop of biblical and not necessarily cultural. And that may shock you a little bit.
Definitely. And I'll give you a perspective on how I see the podcast going. It definitely intertwines with what Tim just stated, but I also let you know that it's going to be fun. It's going to be from personal experiences, like he stated earlier. It's going to be challenging as we go against the status quo. And there's some things we may also agree with, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to be different viewpoints. The way Tim and I communicate, like father, like son, it's also going to be about our upbringing and personal experiences. So you'll be able to see in-depth perspective from that point of view. And it will also be authentic and thought-provoking. So together with us combined, we definitely want to provide some value to all you guys out there listening. We look forward to the next episodes that we have coming up. But this is episode 0. We want to let you guys know who we are, what we're about, and what you can expect in the future. Again, it's real, it's authentic, it's how I talk. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.